guys, it's Allison Creamer, and I'm out here in the Virginia Beach Town Center at the Daily Grind, and today we are doing a podcast with somebody who you may have seen on television. I'm sure you've come across her website. Her name is Laura Oliver, and you could also identify her as the Frugal Chick or a Frugal Chick.
Either one. Paid lots of money, so you can find me both ways.
Or you could probably find her through Couponer in Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads Couponer, Frugal. But today we wanted to talk about something that was different other than real estate, because a lot of people are trying to save money, whether it be the holidays that are coming up or, for a down payment. But Laura and I are going to talk a little bit about how she got started, some of the places she's been featured in, maybe some good starting tips, and then also some resources that she's put together that could help you get on track and get started. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself and then kind of tell me a little bit about who you are and why you got started.
Well, like you said, my name is Laura Oliver, and I do run the website afrugalchick.com. I got started because I decided to go back to grad school, and my employer told me that they would reimburse me for my tuition. So I finished my first semester, got everything all done, turned my grades in, and then they said they changed their mind.
Oh my goodness.
So I had taken out a small home equity line to pay for each semester of college, then to get reimbursed. So I didn't want to take out any bigger of a loan and risk my house. So I had to begin cutting expenses whatever way I could and earning extra money whatever way I could. So I took a second job and started using coupons.
So it was a real need in your life. This wasn't, I just feel like saving some money.
This wasn't, we wanted to go to Disney World.
Yeah.
This was, I want to finish school so that I can further my career, and this was the way to do it.
Nowadays, so many people are in that position. We've had a lot of chaos with our economy and prices. So, being able to offer this solution to somebody who has a real need, you've come up with some phenomenal tips and strategies, and they can obviously learn from you. So tell me a few places that you've been featured in, because you're kind of a big deal.
I try to be a big deal. It's a goal of any small business owner to be a big deal. I'm featured on WVEC Channel 13 every Sunday morning at 7:45. That's
and
our
I know that. I've
local
seen you.
ABC affiliate. On Wednesday mornings, about 8:45 on 92.9 The Wave with Dick Lamb and Jennifer Roberts, Paul McCoy. I have been in the Daily Press and the Virginian Pilot, and then just kind of wherever else I can stick my head in where they need anybody, I try to do that as well. So local blogs, occasionally podcasts, those kind of things.
That's awesome. So you're all over the place, and that's good because we have all different ways of people communicating. So,
absolutely.
So I'm going to ask you, I know it's probably hard to pick one or two things because there's probably so many strategies, but if I am brand new, I am just getting started, is there a organizational tip or a first-timer, something that can kind of encompass an idea that you could share?
Starting to save money on things like groceries and things like that is very similar to trying to lose weight.
Oh, boy.
And you cannot lose weight until you get on the scale and weigh yourself and figure out where you're starting from. The exact same thing is going to happen in this case scenario. So the very first thing people need to do is sit down, pull up their previous month's bills, and be honest with themselves about how much they're spending on groceries and eating out and everything else that they're doing.
Yeah, that's the credit card hit, that's the debit card hit, and the cash hit that a lot of people don't consider cash.
You stop
spending.
and you grab a 20 from the grocery store, to go out and do something or whatever. You go to the grocery store to get milk, and you walk in and you get a cart.
Yeah.
All right, that means you didn't go in there to get milk. That means you went in to get other things, because most people are perfectly capable of grabbing a gallon of milk and carrying it up to checkout.
Yeah.
You're going in with the mentality of spending more than that. So just looking at that number a lot of times will sort of jar people into a reality of, oh my gosh, our family spent $600 on food last month, and we didn't need to.
I agree with you. I think the stress of life and just being pulled all over the place, I think that's starting to happen to me and my family, and so having this opportunity to talk to you one-on-one has been beautiful, because I need to reel it in. So I think that's definitely going to be my step one. Now, most people think of being frugal as just couponing. So if there's a reasonable source or a good source, I know they can go to your website and find all kinds of sources. But what other things besides coupons?
Well, we are so lucky to live in an area that has free stuff all the time. We're sitting down here at Town Center, and I'm looking at signs for Why Not Wednesday, where you can literally just come down here, park for free, Bring a bottled water or something with you, hear free music, walk around, look at the vendors that are here, look at those kind of things. The ocean front in the off season while the tourists go away, parking is free or super cheap. You can go take a walk on the beach. Very inexpensive to do. And we also have a lot of places around here that have very reasonable prices for season tickets, like the zoo and the botanical gardens, where you're looking at a one-time investment and then being able to use that resource over and over and over again. People also really underestimate the library.
Yeah.
They really don't think about going there to rent movies, to do other things that you
CDs.
can do there.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
you
saw
can get
a lot of music.
And I'm in Chesapeake. I'm sure the other ones are like this too. They even have books online that you can just put on your Kindle or your iPad or whatever your app is that you happen to read. You don't even have to go to the library. And then they just take them away from you 2 weeks later, so you don't have to pay late fees when you forget to take your books back.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, the ones that you can download
Yes,
just for a period of time.
absolutely.
That's a good idea for the busy one.
Yes.
So, if you could think of, and again, I'm sure there's so many, I was just curious, have you ever had like the most phenomenal savings or one that is currently the top on your list that somebody can take advantage of?
I've had a couple grocery shopping trips where I've saved 98, 99% off my groceries. And that's actually not all that uncommon in Hampton Roads, because we do have 2 local branches, Harris Teeter and Farm Fresh, that double or triple coupons depending on the sales. And then we have Kroger, which does mega sales. So you can really start to see some really steep discounts. And Kroger even kind of lets you double dip because they have fuel points as well. So you spend money at the store on food, and then you're able to take the same savings over to the gas pump. So those can be a big saving. Probably the most popular sale I see every year is for Busch Gardens Christmas Town. If you haven't gone, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. The tickets are like $37 to go for the night. But for the last 4 or 5 years, they change the name every year. I think last year it was Twinkle tickets. They've done deeply discounted tickets, $8, $10, $12 for select nights. So you can get your whole family in for the price of what it normally would have cost you just to get one person.
That's a really good tip, and a lot of people can find these things on your website. They can sign up, and you'll kind of push it out there so they don't have to go searching.
Yeah, so they'll be on frugalchick.com, and then of course I do everything but Snapchat. Sorry, I got enough to keep up with. So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of those kind of things.
So the holidays are coming.
Yes.
That means probably a lot more spending or people not really paying attention to that budget. And it even, it's food, it's entertainment, it's family, it's just the whole picture. So do you have any let's get prepared holiday tip so that maybe people can kind of not have to worry about the January bills that come through?
Well, the people who know things, of which I am not one, say that you should only spend between 3 and 5% of your annual income on the holidays. That sounds like a lot, but it's really not when you sit down and look at that small of a percentage. I am sure most people go way above that amount of money as far as what they spend when you count the extra money spent on food for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then the gifts that you're putting in there too.
Yeah.
There are a couple things that are good to remember. One of which, for those of us that were alive before the recession, you remember that before Thanksgiving, the price of turkey would shoot through the roof. All the stores, like everything got more expensive. Sweet potatoes got more expensive. Everything got more expensive. Well, we discovered during the recession that we'll eat ham on Thanksgiving if turkey is too expensive.
Exactly.
Because your priorities went to where they needed to be. So now stores actually tend to mark down the stuff that you need. And I think for a lot of us, getting back into that mindset of the holidays is now a good time to stock up on sugar for the entire year and flour for the entire year, because it's the only time of year that other people bake besides, those wonderful people that actually bake all year long. And so that's when we're going to see discounts on those stuff.
That's a really good tip. I didn't even think about that. That doesn't have anything to do with couponing. It's just seasonal shopping where you can store it.
Yes.
Very good idea. So I just want to give you an opportunity to tell people where they can find you. I went on your website and saw that you have some classes that are coming out. I know for me, sometimes it's easier to be focused for that little bit of time to sit down with you and hear you direct or see your platforms. So we're going to wrap up, but I want you to share with people how they can find you, what areas that they can look for you on any other social media platform. And we're definitely going to have all of it in the show notes as well, but if there's something you want to share.
So it's afrugalchick.com or thefrugalchick.com or pretty much any other way that you can type that in. I think my most searched term on Google is frugal chick.
Frugal?
So, yeah. So even if you spell it wrong, hopefully you'll end up coming to my website. I do have Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and all of those links are on the upper right-hand corner of my site. They all go with my name as well. WVC is probably the easiest way to find me on Sunday mornings. As far as my classes go, I'm going to have 2 in September of 2016. They're both going to be on the morning of the 17th in downtown Norfolk. The location is not allowing me to say yet where.
Undisclosed.
They don't want a million phone calls. But I promise they do have their own parking. That's always a concern for people downtown.
So if they sign up on your website for the email notices, they're going to be notified before it's probably out in the media.
Every morning at 10 o'clock, an email goes out to everyone who's on my email list of all the deals from the last 24 hours. Some of them, unfortunately, will be dead because the way that the website works is some of those deals may only be good for 2 or 3 hours, especially if it's an Amazon deal or something when they can change the prices whenever they want. But it's at least a way to sort of keep on top of everything that's going on. And honestly, the best way. Facebook loves to change what they do, and then I can't get information out to anybody.
It's a cycle.
Yes.
It's a cycle.
Anything that's controlled by an algorithm, I can't control.
Yeah.
The email list, I can control because it's the one thing that I can be sure information's going to get to you. And Mark Zuckerberg cannot take it away from me. It just belongs to me.
It just belongs to you.
Yes.
Well, Laura, I'm so glad you took the few minutes to talk with me. I know that you have been all over media, so I am honored that you are on my podcast. And I look forward to digging more into your website, learning more, and tuning in so that hopefully my holidays won't be as stressful when it comes to January and the bills.
Absolutely.
So, well, thank you, and I appreciate it.